Welcome back to Half-Light, where breaking the rules is the only rule. You know, some of my favorite shots, and I would even go as far as and say some of my best shots have been taken by pure accident. No tripod, no time to straighten the camera, no time to really make it as sharp as I wanted it to, no time for composition, just bare enough time to raise the camera and click. And some of those pictures are like, I love them. So in this video, I'm going to talk about accidental photography. I'll be talking about what it is, what it means, how is it different from ad hoc, because yes, accidental photography is different from ad hoc photography. And I will also be talking about what does it mean for you, for your workflow, and how should you approach or how to best approach accidental photography as a strategy. A lot of times we hear how we should plan for our photography sessions or trips or just going out to shoot whatever we want to shoot. And that's a great advice, but there is such thing as over planning. And yes, there are, genres where planning is a necessity. If you are, at a wedding, obviously you want to have to plan and have plans A, B, and C just to be covered. But also you don't want to overplan, and having no plan can be a lot of fun. And by the way, I have my previous videos on ad hoc photography and intentional photography, links down below in the description, just to kind of have a full picture of all these three strategies. I'm going to cover this towards the end of the video, just why am I thinking in terms of these three strategies as a trilogy, if you like.
So we like to be in control of our creative process and art, and yes, a lot of time it requires some effort, and that effort pays off. But then many other times it just happens out of nowhere. We just channel that creative flow. It just comes from somewhere, and we just channel it somewhere else, and it flows through us, and we create something. And it's like, you spill your wine on the table and you go like, ooh, is that? Ooh, it is. Kind of thing.
Accidental photography is completely and utterly unintentional. You have no intention, no plan, no purpose. And heck, those are pictures that were not even meant to be taken. So you are not in a situation where you would normally be taking pictures. Now, ad hoc photography, on the other hand, it's an interesting one, and this is something I haven't mentioned in that video, but hey, it's never too late. Ad hoc photography is intentional improvisation. So there you go, it has the element of intention, but it doesn't make it intentional photography. So your plan is to have no plan. Your purpose is to go out there, take pictures, but knowingly or unknowingly you have no plan and everything's happening ad hoc. But with accidental photography, you don't even have a plan or intention. There is absolutely nothing. So typically accidental photography happens when you have situations like, imagine unexpected candid smile on somebody's face. Those things usually last for maybe a few seconds. And if you are lucky, maybe, just maybe, you have enough time to raise your camera and click. Or you are outside somewhere and suddenly you notice a beautiful balance of shadows and light because of the way, the clouds and the sun and other shadows kind of suddenly play together. And, most of the time you will have maybe not more than a few minutes, if you are lucky, a lot of times even 10-15 seconds to react. So all you can do is just grab the camera if you have it and then take the shot. In other words, another way of describing accidental photography is dealing with events, situations that you can never ever plan for, really. So earlier I mentioned the intentional photography and ad hoc photography, now plus the accidental photography being like kind of a trio of strategies. You shouldn't look at this as rules or even science. It's just recommendations. It really is a strategy. Just being aware of these different aspects of thinking. And you should try, consciously to focus on, try these three strategies, consciously, and just kind of focusing on one at a time. And then I guess once you get into the practice, as your style develops, your style will become a unique mix of these three. And ultimately, you will just be in the moment and you will know when to plan. You will be okay when it just happens without any planning or any intention. And you will be okay if it's just a mix of those. Because God knows, I have been in some, funny situations where I was so excited to go out, let's say, to take some sunset or sunrise shots or bird shots, and I go on a location and something happens not the way I anticipated, and I would get frustrated and upset and just come home and just the whole day is blown, right? But if you have, I guess, you're practicing this different mindsets that really allow yourself to do that. With this practice, you will have this flexibility, come in. And I think that's what matters. That's really important to get to a point where you have fun. Sorry, what? No, I'm sorry. No, you cannot do that. No. Well, because you're a dog. I'm sorry. Where was I? Let me show you some of my accidental shots. So accidental photography is one great way of having fun. You basically abandon planning, and instead of planning and thinking, you place more, your focus will be on feeling things. Just go by the feeling. And so how do you prepare for that? Well, first rule, I guess, is to have a camera on you whenever you can, because if there's no camera, well, there's not going to be a picture. So even if you have no intention, no plans of shooting, even having your smartphone with you, and if you have a smartphone, there's a good chance, you're going to have your smartphone in your pocket, so you're covered. But then you have the basic component required to take some accidental shots. The next thing I would point out is shoot without second guessing. Again, you will not have time, just shoot and then see what happens. And then this kind of leads to the third one, which means shoot and then edit. Don't worry about the angle, don't worry about the cropping, don't worry about the horizon, don't worry about, okay, sharpness could be a thing, but don't overthink it, you know. Just take your shot, and then when you go home, you edit it. You know, you can add saturation, you can straighten it, you can crop it, and hey, I mean, add some blur, you know, add some intentional movement to the photography, you know, move by moving the camera or your entire body, or just allow some movement to happen around you and allow for some weird angles or weird cropping, because you never know. I mean, those are all elements of creativity, and they can result in some absolutely stunning results. So I guess the takeaway is that not every shot has to be planned. You just need to feel it, sometimes in advance, maybe 5 or 10 seconds if you are lucky. If you like my videos, please subscribe and support my work. Also, please share, like, and comment below. If you have some funny stories about your accidental shots, something interesting happened, you know, you have some great experience to share with us, please do so. I would be happy to, you know, read about those. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Now go and break some rules. Thank you.